Hi guys, Lori Starkey here. I absolutely love the idea of making space. I've mentioned on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, all the places that in my journey in business, it has been very much a journey of grow, and it plateaus off because I can only go so far and I have to step back and make some space and make some extra money. But it's all about making margin, making space for more growth, making space for more clients and customers, making space for my own personal life, and making some more money. Money helps make margin too, right? The more money you have, there's a little bit more cushion if things go wrong or if you want to try new products, you have some money to do that with. So making margin is super important in the scope of your business. So grow, pause, make some space. Grow, pause, make some space. And making space looks different for all of us. We're all in different areas of our business and our growth plan and where we're going in the future with our business. And some of us want different things. Some want a small business, some want a massive business, some want a few employees, some want lots of employees. So you have to kind of know yourself too as you're making margin. Like, okay, these are things I want to get to. Let me make some more space for them. So in the idea of making space, what I wanted to focus on today was talking about a time audit. So just like when I don't know if you did this in college or in your 20s or shoot, sometimes in my 30s, you would look at your bank account near the end of the month and be like, where did all this money go? I can remember we had little kids. We would look at our bank accounts and be like, where is all of our money going? We didn't make a lot of money anyway, but we were still like, how in the world is all this money gone? If you put a budget together, and traditionally I'm a CPA, so I put a budget together and I'm like, wow, this is going to be great. We'll have this much money left over at the end of the month to put towards the Christmas presents we want to buy this year, or to put towards new tires, or whatever it was that we wanted to do. And unfortunately, come to the end of the month and you don't have any of that money. And so instead of doing just a budget, budgets are beautiful, but you actually have to stop and do what's called an audit, right? Which means just reviewing where you actually spent the money. The budget is what you plan to do. The actual is what you did. And so to stop and look at it and calculate it for your bank account, right, is so eye-opening. So we totally did this and realized we were spending like $800 a month on donuts. Like all the Christmas money was going to donuts and Chick-fil-A stops, and you'd be shocked, and you may already know this, but you'd be shocked how quickly it adds up when you stop to grab 3 children and yourself and your husband something to eat on the way to school every day. So that same concept comes up when we're talking about time audits. So that one, just to give you a good analogy and story, that one is to do an audit on your numbers because you ain't got no money left. But for a time audit, we're talking about when you find yourself, especially in the scope of your business, all the time saying, I don't have time for that. I don't have enough time in the day. I wish the day was 48 hours long. I can't take on new opportunities. I'm so stressed. I can't have dinner. I can't go to Timmy's ball game. I can't go to Sarah's ballerina night or whatever. I can't do any of it because I don't have any time. The truth is you do have time. You're just most likely spending time on things that you don't need to spend time on, which again, I'm not crucifying you. This is me too. So, and I'm not the one that came up with this, but I do this thing called a time audit all the time. And that's so cute, isn't it? Time audit all the time. But what it is you basically pick how often you're going to do it. And you say to yourself, I'm going to figure out where I'm spending my time. And that is the question you're answering. Where am I spending my time during an average work week? Whether you're a solopreneur or whether you own a multi-billion-dollar company. If you don't have enough time, a time audit will help you with that. And that then will let you make some margin, because when you figure out where you're spending your time, you can assess it. So let's walk through the steps. The first thing is to pick when you're going to do it. It needs to be a week that you're actually busy. So it can't be the week where you go on vacation from Thursday through Sunday and you just do the first 3 days of the week. It needs to be a week where you're doing the normal course of business. It can't be a launch week. It can if you're launching all the time. But if you're launching a new book or a new product or something, I wouldn't use that week as your time audit week. I would make it a normal course of business week. What you do is you can do it on your computer in Excel. You can do it on a piece of paper, in a journal, on a sticky note, on your phone, however you want to do it. We're going to be working up a timesheet that you can download from Google. We'll have that link below for you guys if you want to use one of our versions on how we do it. But you can do this on any platform that you want to, whatever is most convenient for you. And for those 5 business days, let's just do Monday through Friday. For those 5 business days, you write down what you're doing and how long it took you. Now you can just say, I worked on reviewing client files, 3 hours. I worked on writing a story, 2 hours. Like my life is weird. I have a lot of different businesses that are kind of everywhere. But whatever it is, you could put what you did and how long it took. Or another way to do it, which is maybe even more efficient, is have all the times listed for the day, like some of our planners have all the times listed for the day, and then just mark through like, oh, from 8 to 11, I reviewed client files. From 11 to 12:15, I wrote on a story. And that way at the end of the week, then you can sit down and kind of pull it together and say, where did I spend my time? And you add it up and you get your summation of where did you spend your time doing the different things that you do in business. This gets into the minutia too. Like I spent 10 minutes dealing with a client issue that was their lawyers to deal with. I spent 15 minutes trying to get into my Zoom account because I got locked out. I spent 30 minutes training a new employee, you know, and you don't judge it. You don't say, and somebody else should have been doing this, and somebody else should have been booking this, and someone else should have been, right? It really is just, what exactly did you do, right? This is no bad, no good. What did you do? It's just neutral. What did you actually do with your time that week? Add it all up and then look at it. And this is how you're going to analyze it. You're going to say, which of these things could someone else do for me on my team, in my family? Now look, if you're a solo entrepreneur, I completely understand that you're going to be like, who else? This is where you may be like, this is going to be the first person I hire. I did that a million times, by the way. Not a million, I wish it was a million. I've done that 5 or 6 times where I'm like, this is the first person I'm going to hire. Or all these things that I'm doing that I know someone else could do, especially someone who's not doing the creative piece, someone who's not writing the book or cleaning the teeth or coming up with the social media content. Whatever your actual core business is, you need to be involved in that in the beginning until you replace yourself later in this journey. But for now, keep yourself on the core things and all the other things that someone else could be doing. Administrative things, planning type things, some creative work, social media type strategy, or maybe not even strategy, but they could if they're good at it, but they could implement for sure. All the implementation pieces, right, could be someone else. So looking at that summation of what you did and saying, what are the core things I need to keep? What are the things that I could give out to someone else? Especially, guys, if you have somebody that works for you, you have got to learn to delegate. Delegation, we will probably spend a whole week on that too. It's so important to the growth and to the health of your business and to you as a person. It's so important to your health to learn how to delegate things. You're never going to grow beyond the capacity of your energy and your body and your hands and your mind until you start delegating things out. So we've got our summary, we've got the things that we shouldn't be doing, we've got the things we should. Now also look at it and say, out of all of these things, should anybody be doing it? That could be the first question. Should anybody be doing this? You could write out to the side, this is dumb, it doesn't add to the value of anything, get rid of it. This is something that my lawyer could be doing it, give over to him. This is something I need to hire somebody to do this. Then start looking at hiring somebody. When you have 25 things that somebody else could be doing, that's when you start putting together this idea of maybe it's time to hire somebody. So you've kind of decided what you're going to do, what you're not going to do, what no one's going to do. And then also look at it too and say, even with the things you do or somebody else does, could you automate them? Is there a system that could keep up with this? So instead of tracking, like for our book launches, I'm a fiction writer. For our book launches, it used to just be papers everywhere on what needs to happen what day. And it gets really hard when you start being a publisher rather than just a writer, and we're publishing different authors' books all month. It's like, hey, we need a system in place. No one has time to keep up with this and things are falling through the cracks. So let's automate it. Let's put it in a system, a project management system like Asana. We use Asana for our project management system. Each book has all 40 steps that you would use to publish. And so that got automated. So when I was looking at the time audit, it's like, I shouldn't be doing this. My CEO, Mary, should be doing it. Then when Mary was doing it on paper, it got to the point where she was just doing that. When she did her time audit, we realized she was spending, let's say 25 to 30 of her 40 hours managing the process. And it's like, this would take her 3 or 4 hours to put into a project management system that would then roll as a template. We could update it for each book launch. And she just got back 20 hours a week. And so did I. I mean, oh my God, how much efficiency can you get back? That's the power of a time audit. Do the audit, see what no one should be doing, see what can be automated so no one barely has to do it, see what you should be doing, see what maybe other people should be doing, which includes employees, family, contractors, and third-party service providers, lawyers, accountants. Who can do what for you, right? And so that's what the time audit will do for you. Now, after you've interpreted it, the best thing to do is start making those adjustments and moving forward, right? That's the hard part. But you have to set yourself up a goal and be challenged to say, I'm going to, in the next 30 days, 60 days, make the transition to take what I'm not supposed to be doing and give it to someone else. Or to automate the things that I know we can automate in the next 30, 60, 90 days. Set yourself up a goal, because now you know where your money was spent on the donuts. Nobody needs to be eating that many donuts. Like, pull your money back and make a better plan going forward, right? That's the analogy from the beginning. But for you, do the time audit. How often do you need to do a time audit? I would say at least 4 times a year. Quarterly would be great. Because what happens is once you clear your plate off and you start getting some margin, right? That's what that does, is you clear your plate off and you eliminate, you automate, and then you also hire and you delegate, right? It gives you some space. My gosh. Like I said, for Mary, my CEO, we got back 20 hours a week of her time. So you, as the owner of the business, as you start doing these things, you may get back 10 hours or more of your time a week. Well, it's like, good. Now we're going to fill that, most likely, with other things, with growth, with working on your business instead of right in the middle of your business, right? That's when you can see massive growth. That's when I saw massive growth, is when I could step out of the working in as the do person to working on as the strategy visionist for the company. And it's like, that's what you get to do. So once a quarter, you need to stop and sit down and redo your time audit. It is not fun, by the way, to track what you do all week long. Believe me. It's worth it, though, because quarterly, if you look at it, you have picked up things. Much like getting barnacles at the bottom of the sea as your seashell that rolls through, you pick things back up. So whether you've picked up something you said you were going to get rid of, or if you've got some new things, quarterly, to take about half a day and just reassess, what do I need to do with these things? It's going to change your business and it's going to change your life. Look, making space is the key. There's a lot of great parts of growing a business and growing as an entrepreneur, but this one is a game changer. Take the time audit and assess it and let it help you make real decisions. Numbers tell real stories. Everybody's scared of numbers and they want to talk about numbers, money or time or any of it. And it's like, yes, but you're absolutely kidding yourself if you don't think that those numbers can change your business, because more than anything else, more than your creativity or your inspiration or great hires, to have the space to grow and to have the numbers to tell you the true story of what's going on, not the budget, but the actual, will completely change your business. So get after it, download that time audit, check it out. If you have any questions, please leave us a comment below. And if this was at all valuable to you, I'd love to get a thumbs up. If you want to share it with someone you know that is struggling with, I don't have enough time in my business, please do that. We're just here to help with it. So making space, making some margin, getting some of your life back. That's what it's all about.